Hey everybody, so today I just want to do a chatty get ready with me. I am going to get drinks with a girlfriend in about 2-ish hours, so I figured I would sit and film and get ready and just chat and just do a chatty get ready. So if you want to hang out and put on some makeup, then just keep watching. Alright, I just had to get my hair out of my face. So we're going to start with foundation. I think I'm going to do a pretty simple eye look because I think I want to do bold lips because I've been really into bold lips lately. I know, it's weird. So we're going to start off with foundation. Today I'm actually going to use my Marc Jacobs Remarkable because I can't wear this very often because it breaks me out. So I like breaking it out every once in a while. Anyways, what should we talk about? First, can we talk about the podcast that I have been obsessed with for the past, oh sorry, I'm trying to clean off the bottle of my Marc Jacobs foundation. It's disgusting. It's honestly disgusting. Anyways, I have like not been listening to music for the past 2 months because I have been obsessed with the last podcast on the left. Oh my god. Okay, so backstory. When I got promoted, my 5-minute commute turned into a 30-minute commute. So I was just like getting really tired of music, and I work retail, so I listen to music all day, every day. So I didn't want to listen to music on my way to and from work. So I first did book on tape. I did Audible and I did Lord of the Rings book on tape. Finished all 3 of those in 3 months and was very proud of myself because I've always wanted to read the Lord of the Rings. If you know anything about me, you know that I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. So then I wanted to get into podcasts, and I like humor, I like things that are dark and creepy, and so I like went on my Facebook and I was like, hey friends, what podcasts should I listen to? And a couple of my friends suggested the last podcast on the left. And I'm sure a lot of you listen to them because they're a very popular podcast. But oh my god, that is all I've been listening to is last podcast on the left. I will say it is incredibly dark, incredibly fucked up humor. But they do it, it's basically what it is it's a podcast all about everything fucked up. I use my Colourpop no filter concealer. So they do cults, they do serial killers, they do aliens, they have a couple episodes about like fun stuff like fairies and nymphs and like cryptoids and things like that. But most of it is serial killers, cults, aliens. It is amazing. I haven't actually, honestly, when I started it, I didn't think I was going to like the serial killer episodes because I'm not, you know, a lot of people are like super into true crime, and I'm not one of those people, honestly. A lot of the time when I watch, like, my mom loves like Oxygen Network, like Snapped and Killer Couples and all of those nonsense shows. I usually don't like those. Like, Snapped is fun to watch every once in a while, but I didn't think that I would like the serial killer episodes, but oh my gosh, it's so funny, and like, you know, it's things that you shouldn't laugh about, you know, it's fucked up stuff, but their whole niche is that like we're genuinely interested, like the people that are gonna listen to this podcast are people that are interested in dark ass shit like that, but how do you go about researching it without totally going crazy? So the humor just adds, you know, like comedic relief to the dark topic. So if you are into dark topics and dark fucked up humor, you need to listen to the last podcast on the left. I've told so many of my friends about it. They've started listening to it. It's really funny. It's really crude, you guys. I'm telling you right now, it is incredibly crude and offensive. But it's hilarious. I literally can't stop listening to it. It's all I've been listening to. That and Post Malone. That's all I ever, like, it's either I'm listening to last podcast on the left or I'm listening to Post Malone, and there is no in between for me. I shit you not. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of some of these wrinkles on my under eyes and then set my under eyes real quick. I'm gonna pack the powder on. This is a Kat Von D blotting powder. Y'all, I really wish I would have returned this. I am not a big fan. It makes my under eyes so heavy and scaly, and which is crazy because I heard so many good things about this setting powder, but I really, really don't like it. I'm gonna prime my eyes real quick while I'm waiting for this to kind of set in. Another podcast, if you listen to podcasts, what podcast should I listen to? Because I've gotten to the point, oh my god, I just rubbed foundation all over my desk. No! I've gotten to the point where I listened to pretty much all the good episodes of Last Podcast on the Left, and now I'm just kind of in those like filler episodes. Like I've listened to all the heavy hitters, which is like the series about all the, you know, the like biggest serial names in serial killer history. I've listened to a lot of the good Alien episodes, and now I'm just kind of like picking at random episodes, and I've gone back and like listened to their super, super old episodes. So I think it's about time for me. Oh my gosh, also, I have had so many messed up dreams since listening to Last Podcast. Like, obviously, because I'm immersing myself in the mind of a serial killer or a cult leader or alien conspiracies for, you know, hours at a time. So of course I'm gonna have fucked up dreams. But anyways, my point is, I think it's about time for me to start a new podcast. I don't really like political podcasts. Unless it's like super humorous. I like something humorous because usually it's like on my way to or from work. So I just want something to just kind of, I don't know, not be, I don't know. Because I can't say not dark because the whole premise of Last Podcast on the Left is incredibly dark. But you know what I mean? I don't know. What are your favorite? I love history, feminism, whatever. What are your favorite podcasts? Leave them down below. Okay, then I'm going to set my face with my NYX Set It and Don't Fret It powder. Y'all, this powder smells like burning plastic, and I don't remember it smelling like that. Have you used this powder? Because, I mean, y'all know, I've used this powder for a very, very long time, and I don't remember it smelling like plastic. There's another topic I wanted to talk to you guys about. Speaking of music and speaking of being tired of podcasts, or the one podcast that I listen to, what are your favorite albums that you guys have been listening to? I, of course, like I said, I've been listening to a ton of Post Malone, and then I like go through waves of listening to the story so far. I'm gonna take my Thrive Sun Chaser bronzer in EOS on a Delium Tools Golden Triangle slanted contour brush. I go through waves of listening to music, and I'm sure everybody knows what I mean, where like a band can be your favorite band, but you can only listen to them so much, right? So I will go through waves. I did it with My Chemical Romance, where for months, like sometimes like 6 months, a year at a time, I won't listen to them. And I was doing that with The Story So Far. I saw them 2 years ago in Vancouver, BC, and ever since I saw them, I've just been not really listening to them, because I don't know, that happens a lot too, where I will see a band live and that will just kind of be the last that I listen to them. Like, it's like, okay, it's a good way to end my career of listening to them, even though of course I listen to it again eventually. But you know what I mean? Does anybody else do that? Where you go and you see a band and then you just kind of stop listening to them for a while? I think it's also because, like, you know, seeing the band is like the pinnacle of like listening to the band, you know? I did that with Brand New too, when I saw them like 2 years ago. Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, because it was the same summer I saw The Story So Far. And I just kind of stopped listening to them for a while. I don't know. I just like, I listen to the same music over and over. So anyways, what's your favorite music? What's your favorite album right now? Because your girl needs new music. I need to listen to the new Cardi B album. I feel like Cardi B is everything I wanted Nicki Minaj to be, you know? Yeah, and like I said, I've been really into Post Malone and like trying to get into like the hip hop of today, because again, like if you don't know, I work at Zoomies, so that's pretty much all I listen to. I'm gonna take this color from the BH Cosmetics Nude Blush Palette. So that's pretty much all I listen to at work. And like, you know, I'm supposed to be hip on that. My window is right by the street. Like, the sidewalk is literally right outside my window. It's kind of freaky. Ooh, for highlight, I want to use the new Wet n Wild Mega Glow Loose Highlighting Powder in Moontears. This stuff is awesome. It's so pigmented. So pigmented. Oh my gosh. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit with some setting spray first, just to kind of make it last. Dip a little bit in. Oh, okay. Wow. The girl that I am going to get drinks with has, oh jeez, has a Lush Instagram account. So if you are a Lushy, if you're super into Lush, she does those like amazing shots of like bath bombs and stuff, and she also like reviews stuff. So I'll leave it here. If you're super into Lush, you need to go follow her because her posts are like amazing. I'm so happy that she started that account because she is like Lush's #1 fan. I mean, a lot of people are Lush's #1 fan, but she's definitely up there. Okay, highlight, calm down. Okay, that's a little intense. I'm gonna go fill in my eyebrows really quick off camera, and then we'll come back and finish whatever the heck we're doing with this look. All right, brows are on. I can't get over how blinding this highlight is. Like, what? I almost feel like I need to tone it down a little bit. No? Oh, there we go. There we go. Anyways, let's move on to eyes. I want to do something, again, pretty simple because I want to do dark lips. So I think I'm pretty much going to do the same look that I did in my previous video, my peach monochromatic eye, which I will link up here in the info bar. But I'm going to do it with like a brown. So I don't know. It'll be different, and I'm thinking of maybe a red lip. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We will see, but I want to keep it kind of, you know, just kind of neutral on the eyes. I'm going to actually take the BH Cosmetics Itsmyrayeraye palette for this, and I'm first going to take the shade Pancake and maybe a little bit of Mousse, and then I think I'm going to deepen it up with Control Freak. So I'm pretty much just going to stick in this family right here. I think I'm going to start off with a little bit of Nudist to blend in the crease. So those are the 4 that I'm going to be working with mostly. I'm just telling you now so that I don't have to constantly like lift up the palette. I'm going to take the shade Nudist first, which is just like a transition shade, and I'm just going to buff that in the transition area. So I think I've mentioned my personal account on my channel before, but I wanted to bring it up because on my personal account started as like a feminism. It started as an account where I was very, very angry with what was going on with the world, and I just wanted to connect with people and talk about how fucked up our world is right now. And it eventually, like, I eventually just got exhausted with, I guess, for lack of a better word, social media, social justice, and, you know, just constantly like being angry about stuff. And so it quickly turned to more of a body positivity account, because that is something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. And of course I still post about, like, you know, things that I think are important outside of body positivity, but that is one thing that, you know, I've always, like, I went into sociology to help women, and I've always wanted to help women. I've just always wanted to help women any way that I could. So body positivity was one way where I could both learn to love myself a little bit more and hopefully hopefully inspire other women and people in general to love themselves as well. I was definitely inspired by some body positive Instagram accounts that I follow. I will have all of my favorite body positive Instagram accounts down below. But I was definitely inspired by them because I would see them posting very, like, vulnerably and posting pictures of their body, and, you know, I'd find similarities, and, like, I'd be like, wow, their body is so amazing, and then I'd be like, I would find similarities to my body and be like, okay, why do stretch marks look cute on her, but when I look at my stretch marks, I'm like, ugh, like, to use a kind of, I don't know, random example. So it inspired me to start to try to love my body more. I've always been a very confident person growing up. Thankfully, I've been lucky enough to be a really confident person. But when I started gaining a little bit of weight last year, my confidence just plummeted, like absolutely plummeted. And a lot of I'm just taking the darker of the browns now. A lot of those first body positive posts are me straight up lying to myself. And if you already follow my body positive account, if you already follow my personal account, this is something I just recently posted about, which is why it's like fresh in my mind. But I posted about how like when I first started that account, like those body positive posts, I was just like lying to myself. I was just like taking the pictures and just being like, upload them, just put them and say you feel good about yourself, even though it was, some of those were really hard to post. But through that, like everybody always asks me like, how do you become body positive? Like how can you like make confidence? And I will tell you right now, it is a lying game. Like we, especially as women, like queer women, black women, whatever facet of women that you are, especially as people who are not male, we, and even men too, are conditioned to hate ourselves. Like everybody's conditioned to hate themselves, but you know what I mean, especially women are conditioned to hate themselves. So body positivity is hard because you literally have to retrain your brain and be like, hey, there's no such thing as the average body. There's no such thing as a normal body. Like there is no such thing. Like we are all, like all bodies are beautiful, and like healthy does not mean skinny, and like skinny is not the ideal, but skinny is also beautiful just like every other body out there. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I feel like I always like tiptoe around things because I don't want to like say the wrong thing and have somebody mad at me in the comments. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. I like am not a very eloquent speaker, if you haven't already figured that out. But I hope you understand what I mean. We're conditioned to hate ourselves, and so you literally have to break that cycle. I'm gonna take, this is the darkest shade of bronzer in the palette, and I'm just putting that in my outer corner. Yeah, we are literally conditioned to hate ourselves. We're literally like told if you are not this ideal body, you don't matter, you're worth less, like whatever it is. And even women that have that ideal body still don't even think they're perfect. So it's just a fucked up system. And I've just been wanting to break it. So anyways, my point is that through lying to myself and like making myself body positive, I now like, of course I struggle with it still, and of course I have days where I'm just like, ugh, I am a potato. But like through just like retraining my brain out of this body hatred, I have been able to be a lot more confident, and it's just been amazing. I post pictures the way that I do to hopefully inspire others, because like I said, one of the first steps in body positivity that I took, which I recommend every single person do, I'm just highlighting my brow bone with the BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlighting Palette, is I unfollowed all of the accounts that made me feel bad about myself, and I followed a ton of body positive accounts, and that meant, that was the world for me. Like that made such a huge difference, because if you think about it, we all spend way too much time on our phones, and especially me doing what I do on YouTube. I compared myself all the time to women that I would see on Instagram, like beauty influencers, fitness people, like fashion bloggers, whoever it is. I constantly compared myself to them, and I was constantly like, why can't I have her body? Like I said, when I started following a ton of body positive accounts and I saw other women that had bodies similar to mine or different than mine, and they were just like owning their body, it inspired me. I was like, I want to do that. I want to be like confident in my body, and I want to exude that so that I can hopefully inspire others to want to love their body, if that makes sense. Especially like, you know, a lot of you know that I have a niece. She's 7, and you know, I'm not around her a ton. I live in Washington. I live in Western Washington. She lives in Eastern Washington, where my hometown is. So I don't see her a lot, but like, you know, I look at like her and I'm like, God, I would never, ever, ever want her to think that she is anything less than beautiful. And I know from taking all the sociology classes that I've taken and from doing all the research on how the media fucks with our heads that like girls start hating their body as early as like age like 8. My niece will be 8 in a year. Like that's insane. That's before puberty. Like, girls are already hating their bodies and they're still in fucking elementary school, and like that is so incredibly fucked up. Like, so incredibly fucked up. And it just, oh, obviously I'm getting heated, and when I get heated I ramble, so excuse me because I'm going to be rambling. But like, it just inspired me because I was just like, no, absolutely not. And you know, there's always the anti-body positive argument that like, oh, body positivity is unhealthy, blah 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 blah. First of all, shut the fuck up. Second of all, your health and your mental health are two totally different things, and you can be, that's the thing, is that like, of course you should take care of yourself mentally and physically. You should nourish your body, you should take care of yourself, you should exercise because it's good for you. But if you're focusing so much on dieting and exercising that your mental health is being like, what's the word? That your mental health is deteriorating, that is not healthy. And also, you can be healthy at any size. You can be healthy at any size. Anyways, that's just that. I'm just taking a little bit more of that darkest bronzer color and putting it on the outer parts of my lower lash line. And you know, that's also what I realized. The past couple months have been really hard for me, and honestly the past couple months have been the best for me when it comes to body positivity, because I've just pretty much been like, fuck it. I can't spend so much emotional energy hating my body when I already have so much shit on my plate. Like, absolutely not. I forgot where this ramble, I forgot where I even started. I forgot where this was even going because I just get so heated about this topic. But yeah, it was just like, I honestly can't be bothered hating myself anymore. And like, it's just not worth it. I digress. So that has been something that I have been, I feel like I had a point to that, and I just can't remember it because I just went on too much of a tangent. I'll probably be sitting back editing this being like, Katie, you had a point and you just missed it. I'm gonna take a little bit of the black from the palette and just stamp it on my lower, or on my lashes as well. Yeah, like I hope I can put myself out there and, you know, be like, hey, body positivity is hard and it takes time. It takes a lot of time. You're not going to grow confidence overnight when we have been told to not be confident about our bodies since we were like 8, maybe, even before that. You know, it takes a lot, and thankfully, like, I've been lucky enough to where I've had family and friends surrounding me my whole life that have always brought me up. You know, I hear horror stories about like women who had moms that would call them fat, and like, oh, just, it breaks my heart. Like, thankfully I have been lucky enough to where I have always had a mom and a dad and brothers and cousins and friends who have only brought me up. But I understand that not everybody has had that, and for people like that, body positivity can be even harder because you really have to retrain your brain. But the point of this is that it takes time. My favorite comments are the ones that's just like, hey, you've inspired me to want to love my body more. Like, those comments, like, I'm getting a little choked up. Those comments mean the world to me because, like, if I can just make other people confident, like, that's all I ever wanted to do. Like, that's how I started. I can't even look at myself in the mirror right now because I'm so corny. Like, that's why I started my YouTube channel, was because I just, like, wanted people to feel confident with themselves. Ugh, get your shit together, Carol. You guys saying that I inspire you to want to love your bodies more is one of the best things I can ever hear. And you know, I get comments like, oh, you're inspiring, you're amazing, but it's like, no, like, you make my life amazing. So that was a big long rant about my personal account that I will leave in the description box. It is private. I do approve people before I follow it, just because there's, you know, I don't want just any, you know, I post pictures of my butt. I don't want just anybody seeing pictures of my butt. That's just for my friends. I just wanted to address it on my channel because I've mentioned bringing body positivity into, and like other issues that I'm really like passionate about. I've talked about, this is the Wet n Wild Lash Primer, by the way. I've talked about bringing those onto my channel on that personal Instagram before. And like, y'all are for it. So I don't know, maybe I'll just do like an intro to body positivity for dummies video or something like that. Like, intro to body positivity. I think it's incredibly important to just be confident and to just like not be afraid to love yourself, because it can go so far, not just for like, you know, your self-esteem, but for your mental health and then your physical health. Like, when I feel good about my body, I want to take care of it more and take care of it from not a hateful point of view. Like, a lot of people, when they're like not happy with their bodies, they want to take care of it more, but by taking care of it, they're over exuding themselves at the gym. They're cutting out way too many things from their diet, or they're trying just totally impractical diets, as opposed to just wholesome being like, hey, I need to take care of my body. I want to try to eat more vegetables. I want to cut back on sugar because I know this is what taking care of my body means, not necessarily dieting, because diet culture is the fucking worst. You know what I mean? Like, when you love yourself from a wholesome place, the rest follows. Like, your physical health follows that, your mental health follows that, and it also, like, when you exude confidence, it inspires other people to be confident. Like, how cool would that be? Like, if you have like little siblings, if you have like cousins that you're close with, if you have whoever, peers, how cool would that be for, you know, you to like be confident and to inspire them to be confident? Like, we can just help each other. And we're in a time in the world where the world is literally just trying to tear everybody down every single fucking chance it can get. It's a very scary, very horrible world right now, and so we need to band together and fight against that. This is the Essence of False Lashes Volume and Curl Mascara. That really was a rant. So if you want to follow my body positive account, I will leave it in the description box. But yeah, I don't know, guys, just like freaking love yourselves, you know? Like, life is too short to hate your fucking body. Like stretch marks are so cool. I'm gonna share this story. I remember when I was 16, I got on the pill because my cramps destroy my fucking life. Like, I could not go to school for the first 2 days of my period because my cramps are that bad. And even, I mean, I was also having sex, so like, who cares? So I was on birth control. And when I got on birth control, as most women do when you get on birth control for the first time, you gain weight. And you gain weight in like stereotypical feminine areas, like your butt, like your thighs, like your boobs. And I remember I took a shower one day. I got out of the shower and there was a mirror right outside of my shower, as a lot of people have in their bathroom, and I had stretch marks all across my ass. Like, literally my entire butt cheek was just covered in stretch marks. And like I said, you know, when I was a teenager, I was a pretty confident kid. Like, I was fine. I felt good about myself, and that was like one of the first moments where I just felt horrible about my body. And I went to my mom crying, and like, my mom and I have a great relationship now, but she was an alcoholic a lot of my like developmental teen years, so I didn't really have her to like talk to me about anything like this. Of course, she was always like, she's always supportive, she's never like torn me down, but she just, anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I just remember crying to her and just being like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Like, I'm ruined. And now, like, if I would, like, looking back, if I could just kind of fairy godmother myself into that situation and been like, hey, past Katie, look at those stretch marks. You know what that means? You getting a fat booty, girl. Like, like, find the positive, find the silver lining. I don't know, it was just, it's a moment that I remember just like, was so horrible for me in the moment, but when I look back on it, I'm just like, girl, come on. But yeah, like, stretch marks are, it doesn't mean your body's ruined, it means your body grew. Like, that's cool. We're taking up more space. we as women, we need to take up more space in this world. You know, there's always those like social experiments of like women on bus seats are like always told, or like always like men are always like sprawled out and women are always like, you know, like trying to take up as little space as possible. And it's true, like we're told to take up as little space as possible. I'm going to list a couple of my favorite body positive documentaries down below too that you must watch. But we're told to take up less space and just like, fuck that. Like, no, absolutely not. No. Alright people, my camera died and I was rambling so hard. But basically, what I mean, basically the point of it is be patient with yourself and just freaking love yourself, okay? That's all. Anyways, while I was waiting for my camera to charge, I picked a lipstick. This is Kat Von D's Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Nosferatu. It's my favorite red in the entire world. It's the most perfect red ever. And this is the look, just neutral eyes, red lips, something really basic but still really cute and fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this incredibly stupid, chatty get ready with me, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like this. I love you all so much. Everything I mentioned and talked about will be in the description box of this video. Oh, and by the way, I'm wearing Kathleen Light's Charmed nail polish on my nails right now, and yes, I am going to do a nail video. I just have to wait for these nails to fall off or something before I do that. So just so you know, that is coming. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!